This right here is Lane Hutson, a player who was passed upon 61 times in his draft year, a college prospect who would dominate the NCAA at the highest level.
Wrister and a goal!
Up top, Lane Hutson fires the shot, he scores!
Yet, even though Hutson put Quinn Hughes and Cale Makar's NCAA numbers to shame, even with his NCAA championship, World Juniors gold medal, many fans and analysts made the assumption that even though he dominated at the college level, that his toolset wasn't going to translate to the NHL. We've seen this one before.
That's a small body, gentlemen. That's a small body.
When we look back at the last 30 years of the NHL timeline, smaller framed players have always been overlooked. We know this. Big equals good. Cole Caulfield quite literally put up historic scoring totals in his draft year, far surpassing current franchise players and Hall of Famers like Austin Matthews, Patrick Kane, Phil Kessel. Yet, he was passed upon 14 times. Cale Makar, due to his size in youth hockey, nearly went undrafted in the WHL draft. One of the greatest defensemen in NHL history nearly went undrafted in the CHL. Because here's the thing, if we were to redraft the 2022 NHL draft, Lane Hutson, hands down, would be the unanimous first overall pick. Like seriously, Lane Hutson has already been making NHL history. The Montreal Canadiens are arguably the most historic team in hockey history, and he's setting rookie scoring records that haven't been touched in decades. How is he doing this? He doesn't have the explosive skating of Makar.
Here comes Makar on the breakaway. Cale Makar scores!
The refined edge work of Quinn Hughes. When you think superstar small frame defenseman, it was thought that near generational skating was a requirement. What in the hell is going on? And well, after digging into the numbers, I would discover something shocking. And speaking of Lane Hutson and Quinn Hughes, today's video is sponsored by myself, as the newest Hutson vs. Hughes collector's box is available in my store today. With the main chase cards being this holy grail Lane Hutson rookie Young Guns to 250, meaning that there's only 250 of these bad boys in existence. We also have a rookie Quinn Hughes auto at a 75 from the Cup, and a Connor Bedard Young Guns. Every box also comes with 10 packs, and guaranteed 23-24 Series 2 packs, as that's the main collection that contains Bedard Young Guns. Because if you're like me and are sick of Upper Deck's atrocious value, then this box is meant for you, as every box comes with a guaranteed hit, 10 packs, and every 1 in 3 boxes contains a major hit. Thank you so much for the support so far, as this box has received the most love out of any collection I've released, so pick one up while they're still available, the link is down below. On this graphic, we have the most called penalties represented as a percentage from 2010 up until 2021. And first, we have tripping, which by no surprise, in a fast-paced game where stick checking has become the main source of defense, tripping penalties being number 1 is inevitable. And second, we have hooking. When Connor McDavid is about to blow past you on a breakaway, your only option is to use your stick in any way to stop him. But in third, we have roughing.
They called it roughing, I don't know.
The NHL classifies roughing as a player using unnecessary force against an opponent. Now, this penalty isn't new by any means, but as the game of hockey has continued to evolve, this penalty has evolved drastically. Think about Sidney Crosby's introduction into the NHL. Back in 2005, we were still watching old school hockey. Slashes were never called, head contact was an issue but not an instant penalty. Crosby was out there losing teeth without a penalty being called on the play. Players like Pronger and Scott Stevens leading to Zdeno Chara were so dominant, not only because of their bone-crushing hits and ability to chip in offensively, but because they played in an era where they could bully the opposition off the puck. As old school hockey heavily revolved around the hack and slash mentality, even if you didn't have the puck or had the puck, you could still expect to be abused physically by the opposition shift after shift. However, this side of the game is gone. For better or for worse, it's up to you as a fan, but it's gone. Think about the optics here. As the hack and slash and trap defense took over the game, scoring in the NHL was hitting all-time lows. Because of this, the NHL would start to prioritize the prevention of head injuries, as the league wanted small exciting players to be able to make an impact at the NHL level, which is why it's no surprise that a penalty like roughing or interference are now some of the most called penalties in every single game. But guess what? When you remove this part of the game, guess what happens? Small dynamic players, more specifically smaller dynamic defensemen, now have the ability to dominate the game. On this play, we not only see how Lane Hutson is so special, but just why the role of a quarterback on the back end has taken over the game, because off a face-off win against the Leafs, Hutson receives the puck. Just take a look at how there's so much room for a creative and dynamic player to create a play, unlike a forward who has to create his own space off a draw. A defenseman with a good center who can snap back a face-off will have this opportunity every single game. Yes, I get the argument on why don't they just play forward. This right here is why. This exact scenario. Now, off this play, many defensemen will shoot the puck on net or dump it in. Why, you ask? Because unless you have elite puck control, holding onto the puck at the point is extremely risky and has led to countless breakaway goals in the past.
There's a shot block and Pettersson's ahead of the play. A breakaway for the rookie. Good!
However, Hutson isn't average, as he instead keeps possession with the puck on a string. At this point, he does a stutter step and attempt to throw Tavares off balance, but it doesn't work, so he instead commits to a stop-up, which forces Tavares to move his hips, where he does a tight turn to gain instant separation. And at this point, he has the puck behind the net with several high-danger scoring options. Now, they don't score, but this right here is a great example on how Lane Hutson can manipulate the opposition with his puck possession to where now he controls the pace of an entire shift. On this next play, Hutson picks up the puck behind his net. Approaching his blue line, he shifts his hips pretending that he's setting up a drop pass, as this fake single-handedly allows him to escape the forechecking pressure of Gord. And now approaching Jared McCann, Lane Hutson's head fakes have such a strong psychological effect that it causes McCann to assume that Hutson was going to fake cutting to the middle and then cut right, to the extent that he freezes, where Lane Hutson burns him. It's absurd. Absolutely absurd. As Lane Hutson, just like McCarr or Hughes, has the ability to single-handedly gain the offensive zone starting from behind his own net. This talent is invaluable in a game of trap defense. If you have a player who can do this shift after shift, it creates so much sustained offensive pressure that it suffocates the opposing defense. And at this point, you probably think he's gonna create a play. But no, this psychopath says no, let me embarrass this Kraken for a second time and drive to the net.
Fabrique là cette entrée de territoire. Hutson toujours.
Where he hits the post, but what could have been? On this next play, Hutson picks up the puck after a big hit at center ice, and this kid has so much confidence as a rookie defenseman, it's crazy, because after gaining the offensive zone, Trent Frederick tries to cut off the passing options by using his stick to deflect a pass, and at this point, most players will dump in the puck or try to find a teammate with a cross-ice pass. But for Hutson, he is the master of understanding the opponent's balance and hip position, but because he's sprawling his arms, he is surely off balance, and well, he was.
Blue line. That gets the crowd into it. Here's Gallagher. Habs will set it up. Armia towards the net. Tip, score!
Lane Hutson from this one move single-handedly draws 3 out of the 4 Bruins towards him. This right here is gravity. On this next play, Hutson receives a D-to-D pass to the blue line. However, he doesn't have many options. Maybe send a shot on net for a hope and prayer for a deflection opportunity. But no, he holds onto the puck.
Lane Hutson shuffling around the blue line. Wrist shot, tip, score!
This right here is David Perron. David Perron has played over 1,100 games in the NHL. He has matched up against countless superstars, Hall of Famers. He's a great defensive player who has won a Stanley Cup. David Perron got faked out so badly that his back is turned toward Lane Hutson. And now with open space, Hutson turns a low percentage play into a goal, because what makes Hutson so special is his uncanny ability to read an opposing player's body position, and that Hutson uses head fakes and edge work to constantly catch the opposition off balance. They're off balance, he goes the other way, and now he has open space, where he has an absurdly high success rate at creating space shift after shift. It's honestly one of the craziest things I've ever seen. He just waits for them to be slightly off balance and attacks. Doing this in theory makes sense, but when you're going 20 miles per hour with mutant defenders closing in on you, this right here is a very special trait. And when you consider that Lane Hutson is still a rookie, following a similar trajectory as Quinn Hughes, actually, if not better, on a Montreal team that's only going to get better and better, Lane Hutson has a scary future, and has single-handedly made 31 teams have to reevaluate their scouting techniques, if not their scouting personnel. I'd really appreciate you if you left a like on this video. The Hutson and Hughes Rookie Collector's Box is now hit the stores, so if you want to support the channel, get some high-end packs alongside of a nice guaranteed hit, go pick one up while they're still available. And as always, thanks for watching.